Welcome back. I'm changing the style of the videos going forward, not because I'm a creative genius. It really comes down to the usage of the GoPro and the iPhone. The GoPro uses a lot of battery, and I wasn't managing the charging of it well. I was having issues with it connecting the power bank. There's too much stress related to that. It just didn't make sense to me. So I started using the iPhone. After Hot Springs, I started seeing more people on the trail. The nice thing around that is you have people you can sit down and have a meal with, or ask them to take a picture of you standing on top of a cliff. You might even find yourself hiking with someone for a couple of weeks. Meet Llama. We tested each other's patience a lot. I first met Nemo at a shelter in Georgia on my birthday last year. Imagine the surprise when Llama and I walked up to a shelter in Tennessee. She yells out, "Hobbit." I had no idea she was going to be back on trail, and really had no idea she'd end up hiking with us for the next couple weeks as well. These flowers growing on a high ridge were the size of dinner plates. Just beautiful. This sign, it took some time to get to be in this shape. Looking out over the hills and then back into the ridges where there's flowers you may have never seen before, and then back into the viewpoints again, looking out over the valleys. It's just beautiful. Some of the climbs are pretty challenging though. It's a real emotional high point when you find these markers along the trail. This is indicating about 300 miles from the start at Springer Mountain in Georgia. These are put together by previous hikers, usually from the bubble, which is the mass of people that are grouped together and moving north. I prefer to sleep in a tent rather than one of the open shelters, and the biggest reason for that is staring you right in the face in this image. These little buggers will come out and crawl over you in the night. They're hunting for food, and they're doing mouse things, but I just don't like the idea of these little critters and possibly others crawling around on me. Looking at this amazing waterfall, it's hard to imagine that in about 2 weeks there'll be drought. The only water I'll be able to find in many places will be water bottles left by trail angels on the side of a dirt road. This trail leading north from Bald Mountain is probably the longest section of visible trail that I've seen since starting in Springer Mountain. On the other side of that next hill, we'll meet the Incredibles for the first time. I'll introduce you to them in the next video. I did promise you a rattlesnake. This nope rope was alongside the trail at the shelter where we stopped for lunch. I still had a debilitating fear of snakes, especially the murder noodles, so I hung back while someone else went full zoom. The reality is the rattlesnakes don't want to interact at all with people. Give them their time and space and they'll move on. They also eat mice, which are found in and around the shelters, which is a great reason for me to avoid sleeping in them. I don't know if snakes get used to having people around, but this guy didn't even feel threatened enough to rattle for us.